Welcome back to WD Magiccast for the week of July 16th, 2023. This is episode 229. WD Magiccast, the show about the mouse, the Marvels, the galaxy, and beyond. I'm your host, Matthew Gracon. In this week's show, it's part 2 of our food and wine discussion and things changing at Epcot. Join Dave and I as we really dive into the dishes that are going to be available at a lot of the pavilions or a lot of the booths at Epcot's International Food and Wine Festival 2023. Don't listen hungry. It's going to be good. Don't forget to also join the show on our social networks at TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We are at WD Magiccast. Also, email the show with any suggestions you have, questions. We'd love to hear from you and answer some of your questions on the show. Or you could leave us a voice message through your Anchor app or Anchor.fm website. Or email also to this address as well as the address I was about to say, which is email at wdmagiccast.com. Again, the email address is email at wdmagiccast.com. Don't forget to check out our merchandise shop as well. Links are in the show notes and on our website, wdmagiccast.com, where you can get some really cool WD Magiccast logo wear, mugs, shirts, coffee mugs, hoodies, whole bunch of fun stuff. Get it now, help the show out, and have something cool to wear as well. We'll be back after these words from our friends and sponsors.
Hi Disney Marvels fans, my name's Tash and my BFF Mercedes and I make a weekly podcast dedicated to all things Disney. From music, movies and food and parks to fun weekly challenges, we discuss it all over at Chat Disney. You can find us on Instagram at Chat Disney or Twitter at Chat Disney UK. We release weekly episodes every Monday morning, which can be found on Spotify and the Apple Podcast app. Bye for now.
4 years ago? Was it the trip with you or was it the trip? No, it was the trip before you.
It had to be before us.
Yeah, it was the trip before you. So that was 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah.
The show's final performance was September 30th, 2019.
Yeah, 4 years ago. Perfect.
Yeah.
So 2019. That show debuted in 1999.
So it's 20 years old. Okay. Yeah. All right.
It was time for an update and try, it was Illuminations was a very beloved show, and there was many iterations of it throughout its run. So it was Illuminations, Reflection of Earth, Illuminations 25. You had a whole bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was time to come up with something new. Something that wasn't based on classical music and something that, a lot more, something different.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they came up with, okay, let's do Harmonious. And Harmonious went through a number of changes as it was being created and developed. But I think also in some ways Harmonious was labeled a JPEG thing, which I don't think it fully was, because if Illumination stopped at 99,
Mm-hmm.
Iger was still in charge at that point.
Yeah.
So it just makes you kind of wonder. But anyway, we're getting something new. It should be good. Epcot Forever, yes, I know you saw it because I was standing right next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was right before we got stuck on the Skyliner. Which is probably why you don't remember Epcot Forever, because you're focused on being stuck on the Skyliner hanging over the body of water just outside of France.
Yeah, terrified for my life as we dangled up on a tightrope. Hey, I like the Skyliner when it's working the way it's supposed to. For those out there, it will stop it from time to time.
It can happen. It will happen.
Yeah.
They have contingencies.
Yes. Just take a deep breath, and eventually you will get off.
Yes.
Oh boy.
But in the meantime, enjoy the view.
Yes.
So, yeah, and then you have the new Communicore building being worked on. There's the new interesting light towers that are around that area that have been installed and work on. From my understanding, I believe those are going to be changing color. It's going to be a really fun little area for the showcases and stuff that comes out. Which, with that being said, the whole focus of that area is for when you do things like Festival of the Arts and food and wine and the holiday stuff. And speaking of food and wine, the menus and information for food and wine, a lot of it has been released. And Dave, what do you think?
It's as I look at it, it's pretty impressive. I don't know if I'm going to be able to partake in every single one of these things, but I'll give it the college try here. You know.
See, to me, it looks delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said from before, the Canadian cheddar and bacon soup served with a pretzel roll, just for some reason sounds great. And then have a nice adult beverage on the side that might help wash it down pretty smooth.
Always, and there's plenty of libations to go around in each of the. Hence the name Food and Wine.
Yes.
Epcot's International Food and Wine Celebration.
Yes. You know what's weird about Epcot? It's strange. It's when I'm going to sidetrack for a minute. When I was a kid and I went to Epcot, it didn't do anything for me. You know, when I got older and we went back, together, Epcot, it changed. I don't know if it's because I got older and I just appreciated it more or whatever, but I had a better time, and Epcot became one of my better places to go to. And it's just weird how that flipped from when I was younger to when I got older.
If I can answer that in 2 words: yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
I discovered same thing. You know, I've been going to Epcot. The place opened in '81. I've been going there almost ever since. When I was younger, I enjoyed I enjoyed Figment. I enjoyed some of the attractions, but it wasn't the park that I connected with the most. Well, at that point, it was Epcot and the Magic Kingdom. I always preferred the Magic Kingdom. But it wasn't. There was not that same draw. Now, also keep in mind, wherever the park first opened, there was no characters, and no Disney characters available at the park. So eventually, they did bring those in. As I got older, I understood Epcot better and did appreciate it more. Now, also, they did start changing some of the attractions out, some of the rides got switched around and whatnot. So it went from being a park of nostalgia and, oh, you know what? This is as bad as it was. As I thought it was, I actually enjoyed it. It brings back memories. To, oh, this ride's fun. This ride's fun. So when I was working there in '98, I actually went to Epcot a lot. On my days off and on my own, I was like, you know what? Got nothing to do. I'm just going to walk around Epcot. And they started the Flower and Garden was going on, and they would have musical acts and stuff there. So yeah, I'd walk around and I just, as an adult, I appreciated everything better.
Yes.
So it's definitely more geared towards adults, and now they're trying to give it a different identity, and because they say, oh, it's a park that never had a true identity, and it had an identity. It's not the identity that a lot of people identified with. They were trying to make an identity now that people identify with, and it's, to me, the new stuff is convoluted. Future World and World Showcase, very cut and dry. This is one different design, that's a whole nother design. And then the reason why you had that, because Epcot was originally 2 different parks that they decided, oh, let's put them together, and voila, we have a park. So it suffers because it was supposed to be like a World's Fair, but it never changed. And I don't think most people realize what a World's Fair ever was anymore, because most people don't. The World's Fair never comes to the United States anymore. Some people don't know what it is. So that concept of it kind of now is passé. So it's the new Imagineers all around. It's see what we can do with things. I have to see what the final product's going to like. The little bits and pieces I've seen, I've enjoyed. Do I miss Universe of Energy, Ellen's Energy Adventure? Yeah, it was fun and quaint, and it was an enjoyable ride. Guardians of the Galaxy is an amazing ride. Do I find it weird in Epcot? Yes, but the story told in the queue line kind of tries to explain it, why it's there. And you just go, sure, just put me on the ride already. And it is a fantastic ride. Now, you want to talk about bad sightlines. Here's the largest building in Walt Disney World. It's just sitting there in plain sight. But it's a fantastic ride. You can't knock it. Test Track versus World of Motion. Again, it was a better ride. It's kind of gotten a little funky in how Test Track is, but you have to design the cars, and it's not so much a test track. It's competing the vehicles that you designed against each other through different simulations, trying to make it somewhat interactive. Seems a little strange, but it's still fun. It's still enjoyable. It's one of the fastest ride in Walt Disney World or Disney parks. Taking Horizons down and putting in Mission Space. I think they're kicking themselves for that one, because Mission Space has its own little issues being a centrifuge, and not everyone does very well with centrifuges. Particularly after eating food and wine and indulging in food and wine, and then going on a vehicle that spins you around, and you eat the contents of your stomach sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of strange things. So they're trying to figure things out. Putting in a dedicated building for these festivals, because that's basically what Epcot has become, is the festival park, and that they put those festivals in to help drive attendance to the parks, and it worked out well. Obviously, it worked out well because they're still doing it 20 plus years later.
Yeah. And for the kids around the marketplaces, they added those, like the Figment search. And then, if you find them all, you bring them back to the thing, and they give you a cup or a plate or whatever it is. Is that still there? Are they still doing the Figment thing, or no?
For food and wine, it's a meal. You find a meal.
Okay.
I think for Festival of the Arts, it was Figment. They usually is a little something where the kids could go around, a little scavenger hunt that you buy into, and if you find everything, you get the little prize at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler, you could, even if you don't complete it, you could still get the prize because you paid for it.
Right.
Unlike Emil's fromage montage from Food and Wine, where you have your passport that you get for free, and you go around, you have to get it stamped by eating all the certain cheese-based items at certain food booths. Which are indicated. When you complete that, then you go back to I forget which location it is, and you get your free special dessert in a special dessert plastic drinking tumbler. A stemless wine glass, basically, is what it is, but it's plastic. That you have to actually complete, because you're not paying for that one. You pay for it by buying all the cheese related products.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. And the long-winded answer is yes.
So they're still doing it, but they might change who you're looking for. Is the bottom line? It's not always Figment.
Who you're looking for usually is based on which festival it is.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, but something that's new. Well, you're getting some new food items to some of the countries. All of your favorite locations seem to be back. Yeah. So we have, in no particular order, Greece, Belgium, Brazil, Japan, Flavors of America, Italy, Spain, Germany, the Alps, Kenya, India, which is going to be near the China Pavilion, China, Mexico, Australia, my favorite, Hawaii. The Noodle Exchange will be back again. Brewings, which will be in the Odyssey restaurant. Flavors from Fire, another one of my favorites. The Fry Basket, which, that was so good. And Coastal Eats, all will be available and around. The new thing, you want to talk about the new thing, or you want me to talk about the new thing that's going to be joining Brewings?
You can delve into that one.
So, in addition with Brewings, you will be having, and I can't tell you exactly what it is, but the Muppet Lab, Muppet Labs will be there. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker said that they have come up with some concoctions for you to try at the Food and Wine Festival. But is it a show? What is it? I couldn't tell you. Other than Bunsen and Beaker have come up with culinary creations to be able to help you out. The two things that will be available in there, it's again available in the Odyssey. You have a chance to try the unnecessarily spicy yet extremely tasty Scotch bonnet pepper curry wings.
That's awesome.
And you can wash that down with a pickle milkshake.
Yeah, that sounds disgusting. I saw that. I'm sorry. Pickles do not belong in a milkshake. I'm sorry.
I'm daring enough that I might actually try that. But beyond that, that's all the information we have at this time on that.
Yeah, it's you don't even know if you're going to see them there. I mean, I would assume you would, but are we? Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, some people are thinking it's going to be because there's a stage there. That there's going to be an actual physical show on the stage of the Muppets somehow.
Yeah.
And I can't think that's actually going to happen because it's a small stage and there's no real backstage area.
And wouldn't they have to be there basically the whole day?
Yeah, that's the other thing. How is that going to exactly work? So I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that I don't know if that's actually going to be it, or it's just like, oh, we have these two crazy creations and we're putting the Muppet IP attached to it.
Right.
Because the Muppet IP works very well at Regal Eagle. So here, let's take it to the next step for Food and Wine and tie in the Muppets, especially since the Muppet Mayhem is doing so well for them. So here you go.
Right.
I'm thinking we're still going to get some more information on this.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't have two puppeteers sitting there trying to do that,
Well, right. It's like, you can't do animatronic figures, which the last time you did Muppet Labs in Epcot was the free roaming AA figure of Bunsen and Beaker kind of walking about and interacting with people.
Mm-hmm.
So then you'd have to do a puppet show. But okay, you set up the stage, but like I said, the stage has a very limited backstage area. It's kind of small.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sunny Eclipse has a bigger stage in the Tomorrowland at the restaurant there versus the stage in Odyssey. So I couldn't. I don't know how that would work.
Could you have a cast member dress in their outfit and just walk around? So you can't do animatronics, you can't have the puppeteers, but can you have a cast member like just walk around? Not that you want them there in August in that hot costume, but
yeah, you know what, you could. I've never seen a walk around Bunsen or Beaker, but right. Why not? I think that would be brilliant. But you've been in the Odyssey, it is a little tight.
Yeah.
But it would be doable because in a lot of the other restaurants where you have walk around characters, it is tight. Like Ohana's there isn't a huge amount of room for Lilo and Stitch and friends to walk around. So why not? Yeah.
That's the only feasible thing that I could think of, because if they get too hot or whatever, they could just take a breather somewhere and then come back 5 minutes later or whatever.
Well, they do have a schedule that they work on.
Right.
15 minutes on, 30 minutes off or something like that.
Mm.
But there's a schedule that that the friends have. The friends of the characters. In the listing of new things available at Brewings, you have those items kind of worked in there. So it says new items at Brewings. You'll have the traditional buffalo wings with celery and ranch, the peanut butter and jelly sticky wings, garlic Parmesan wings, which I think were our favorites, or was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Crispy Brussels sprouts with buffalo sauce, plant-based blue cheese, and plant-based ranch. Strangely enough, it's a plant-based item. So that's the returning wings. The new wings is an orange cardamom wing, an impossible buffalo chicken tender with plant-based blue cheese, plant-based ranch, celery. Again, new and a plant-based item. And then your scorching hot Scotch bonnet pepper curry wing with creamy cucumber Rita. And then your beverages, all the beverages are relatively new. Except for frozen pomegranate tea, non-alcoholic. Then you have the pickle milkshake, which is non-alcoholic. Beer flight, cider flight. Then you have Sun King Brewing Capricia Lager from Sarasota, Florida. Brew Hub French Connection IPA from Lakeland, Florida. The Three Daughters Brewing Old Fashioned Porter from St. Petersburg, Florida. Blake's Hard Cider Company Tropicolada Hard Cider from Armenia, Michigan. Bold Rocks Peach Berry Hard Cider from Nellie's Ford, Virginia. A $3 Brewing Company Raspberry Lemonade Hard Cider from St. Pete's, Florida. And that's what's listed for the drinks at Brewings.
Can you get it in a flight? Sample?
They don't mention a pickle milkshake flight.
Well, without the flight, give me the hard ciders.
No, there is a beer flight. There's a cider flight and a beer flight.
Nice.
But I want to talk Fry Basket. Fry Basket is back with the amazing Abodo Yucca fries with the garlic, cilantro, aioli. Oh, that's fantastic. The fry fly is back. The sea salt and malt vinegar fries. The barbecue bacon fries with smoked aioli. Oh, it's delicious. Sweet potato casserole fries with candied pecans, toasted marshmallows, cream, and caramel whiskey. Oh, amazing. And new this year is, I guess this is the theme of new items, pickled fries with dill ranch.
Does Disney have stock in pickles this year or something?
I guess so.
You know, I'll take a pickle on a hamburger, man, but not in my shakes or my drinks or whatever.
Well, this is a fry though, so I could do that. That I'm like, okay, that's not so absurd.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so yeah, that's on that one. I can't get my screen to flip over to where I wanted to actually look at. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, brewing's got a lot of cool. There's a lot of new stuff. Not really new booze, but some new stuff. So Greece, you have a plant-based Impossible Moussaka, which strangely enough it mentions that it's plant-based. What else we got new going on here? You have some new beverages in Belgium. A new IPA. I am not going to attempt to mention, try and say Braziers, whatever. Chimney Grand Reserve, Chimney, Belgium. So that's another new beer coming there. Let's see here. Japan's got some new stuff. Beef Wagyu Don, traditional Japanese rice bowl with American Wagyu beef, steamed white rice.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Sake Passion cocktail, that's also new. Moon on Water Snake. And Brew Hub Momo Amber Ale from Lakeland, Florida. In the Japanese booth. Okay. Flavors America. What we got going on? Flavors America has the Italian hot beef sandwich with shaved beef, spicy gruyere, and a jus on French roll. You have a
how do you say that word?
seafood stew with chiffon infused tomato, French broth, and sourdough crostani. It's called a Caiopion. Okay.
Chiopino? I don't know.
Thank you. Yes.
That's what
we'll
I'm
go
thinking.
with that. Dave's going to say the hard words. Just like this next one, which is a chilaquiles. Corn tortilla chips tossed in salad verde with rancho, chicken, queso fresco, cilantro, lime, crema, and soft poached eggs. Mind me next year to actually have a chef on the show
to talk about to translate the information.
Yeah. So that's the new stuff at the Flavors of America. Everything else is returning. Italy. Focaccia rapina, which is freshly baked focaccia, beef meatballs, tomato sauce, and burrata cheese. It sounds interesting. Cavatelli with sweet sausage, rougat, and crispy applewood smoked bacon. It's got bacon on it. I'm interested.
Yeah, especially that smoked applewood. Oh.
Yeah. And lemon ricotta cheesecake with vanilla cream and strawberry compote.
Yeah, those are all new items. So
is everything in Italy is new as far as the food, which is last year. It's supposedly Italy. Well, I guess I had Italy, right? It was actually it wasn't bad last year. It was better than it was, but usually Italy is not one of the more favored ones, so they switched everything up this year. Nothing new in Spain, except for a few drinks. The Vina Borgio Macabre White Sangria, a Vino Borgio Rosé Sangria, a Vino Borgio Grenache Red Sangria, and a Sangria Flight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what my wife's interested in. Germany, the food's all the same.
Yeah, Germany though.
Beverages.
Yeah, give me all the beverages from Germany.
Dr. Low alcohol removed Riesling. Also.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna. I just want to drink them. I don't want to pronounce them.
Well, the rest are all returning.
Yes.
They're not labeled as new.
Right.
But you have your beer flight too, which you quite enjoyed.
Yes.
Heading over to the Alps. In the Alps, we have a dark chocolate fondue with berries, pound cake, and marganese. Plant-based item. That's it new for the Alps. Kenya, nothing new in Kenya.
Nothing new.
India,
I don't see anything new there.
I don't think anything labeled as new. China's got a couple new things. You had the crispy duck bao bun with Hoisin's sauce.
I'll give it
That's
a try.
it.
That's
yes. If you're okay with eating duck, go right ahead. Mexico.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We got a whole bunch of new stuff on them.
Yeah, 4 months of taking Spanish pay off with this. Hold on. That's some good water. All right. Tostada de carnitas, braised pork on a fried corn tortilla with black beans, avocado mousse, queso fresco, and chives. Oh, everything in Mexico is new.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Everything
the whole
in
menu.
Mexico is new except for the Mexican craft beer. Taco de costilla, slow braised beef, short ribs on a corn tortilla with salsa de chile morta, avocado mousse, and spring onions. And pastel and pasta bowl, layers of traditional Mexican flan and tres leche with guava and cajita. 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 I don't know what that is, but it actually sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But then the beverages, you have Trouble in Paradise Margarita. I'm down with that just by the title alone.
Mm-hmm.
Does that say illegal?
That's what I'm looking at. Illegal mezcal. Like
these are mezcal, watermelon liqueur, rosé wine, lime juice, and agave with a chili lime powder rim. Wow.
Wow.
And then you have the Flyaway Margarita, Nonchalant Dole, pineapple ginger juice, chili avocado, verde liqueur, and tequila with a sweet dried chili salt rim.
And then a beer.
And then you got the Mexican beer. No name beer.
Yep.
Nothing new in Australia.
Nope.
Oh, my favorite, Hawaii.
Yeah, the pork sliders.
The pork sliders, the Kahlua pork sliders with sweet and sour dough, pineapple chutney, and spicy mayonnaise. Not new, but it deserves being repeated and talked about because it is just so darn good.
Yeah, even the drink, the Alani Sunrise vodka, Dole
Sunrise
pineapple
is
juice, and
amazing.
grenadine. Oh, that sounds good.
Oh,
The Noodle Exchange available.
Noodle Exchange is back. Yep, that's they've been there. Nothing new in the food end. Just one new beverage, the Parish Brew Strawberry Mochi Berliner Voice. That's new. We went over Odyssey already. Flavors from Fire. Let's just cook things on fire with open fire, and it will be good.
Mm-hmm.
Chimichurri marinated skirt steak taco. Let's see, taco with crushed avocado, grilled corn salsa, pickle red onion, queso fresco with cilantro lime cream. Wow, that's a mouthful, and I'd like a mouthful of it. Spicy chocolate tart with barbecue potato chip crust, salt whiskey caramel with smoked sea salt.
Mm.
Wow. That sounds amazing. Spiced chocolate tart with barbecue potato chip crust, salt whiskey caramel, and a smoked sea salt. I'm just pondering.
Yeah. No, I get it.
No new drinks, but you have those two new food items.
So I don't know if this is a weird question, but so when you have the flavors from Fire, like each thing has Canada has their booth, whatever. So Flavors of Fire will have their own booth along the same line of the walking path of where everything is.
Flavors from Fire is located between Test Track and the Odyssey.
Okay.
It is a brown and red booth off to the side there. If you find the fry basket, which you pass the fry basket if you're walking towards Test Track.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so it's in formerly Future World. I guess this is what World Discovery is that? Or whatever so it's over on outside Connection Cafe. You have right off of the eatery, you have the Noodle Exchange there, which is not far from the entrance to the store.
Mm-hmm.
Then across the path, and you're heading down towards Test Track Emission Space. It's a silver and red booth. That is the fry exchange. A fry basket, which is near the misters of where you had to Test Track. But if you're heading up the path around the connections, you're heading towards like the Odyssey restaurant and getting to the World Showcase area. There's going to be more of a it's almost like a bar looking type of place where it is, like I said, dark browns and reddish colors, and it's kind of set off a little bit there. It's actually a larger booth. That is the flavors from Fire. Previously, it was sponsored by ESPN and Monday Night Football. It wasn't last year though, which I was actually disappointed by. But the food was still just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Fry Basket is a smaller booth. Flavors for Fire is actually one of the larger ones.
So in other words, like, but if you're looking for this, they're off the beaten path. They're not along that circle.
They're not in World Showcase.
Right.
No.
So, okay.
No, you actually have some bleed over. So if you follow the Odyssey down and around, then you would go Odyssey, Flavors from Fire, Fry Basket, Noodle Exchange.
Right. Okay.
So that's how you would hit that.
And if I remember correctly, a lot of the pricing wasn't too bad, right? At each booth, like you're not getting a ton of food, but they're also not charging you like $20 per item or something like that, right?
No,
it's relatively cheap.
It's relatively economical. They haven't posted the prices yet for this year, so don't be surprised if they've gone up since last year.
Mm-hmm.
But as other Disney people will tell you, and my suggestion as well, get yourself a Disney gift card. Load up the Disney gift card with whatever your budget is. And then start going from booth to booth to booth to booth to booth. And
it's not a bad idea.
As you swipe along, you'll be able to keep track of how much you have left on your gift card. But then you're not just you're mentally, keeping your account in order. You're spending what you want to, and not going too crazy, because it's very easy to go there and give me one of everything, and what was going to be $10-15 is now $30.
Right, and you're also not putting like 30 transactions on your credit card or whatever.
That too.
So that makes sense.
Though I have to say, I did run into an issue last year, and I don't know if this had anything to do with the storm that came through or what, but there was an issue where a couple of the booths were having trouble with gift cards. But that was an exception, not a rule.
Mm-hmm. But then you can always use that gift, like if you had a problem where you couldn't use it, you could always use that to pay the bill, right? Or something like at the...
Right, then you just pay your credit card, or you charge it to your room, to your Magic Band, and then use that gift card to pay when you get back, as long as you appropriate that money accordingly.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's always an option too.
It's not a bad idea.
And if you don't use up everything on the gift card, it's a Disney gift card. You can use it anywhere on property for anything.
Yeah.
Just about. And they do have special themed gift cards to Food and Wine. So it's another souvenir that you get kind of for free, because you don't pay for the gift card itself.
I have to see, and now I'm going to see if my daughter has any gift cards laying around.
But the Food and Wine one usually comes on a little one of those little stretchy bracelets.
Right.
It's one of the mini gift cards. It's not like a full gift card. It's a smaller one.
Right.
But it's a specific Food and Wine gift card. So, and you put it on your wrist, and you have it right there. It works out brilliantly. The only thing I would say in addition is, we'll definitely do the Premier montage, but the Finding Remy is always fun, and again, you get a fun little thing afterwards for doing that. And then of course there's always the Food and Wine merchandise, like the shirt that I'm wearing is Food and Wine from when we did it 2 years, 2021.
2021.
So.
My daughter still uses that Remy ball, that she got.
I still use those. I'm talking about the Finding Remy, those bowls that we got. We got 2 of them, and anytime the boys ask for snacks, especially if they want chips, they're the right size. I put chips in, so they get a fair amount.
Yeah.
But they're not like diving in the bag, and next thing I know, they ate half the bag, and they're not eating dinner now.
Yeah.
So that it's enough for them to usually be satisfied, and it's a nice little container to put chips or stuff in. It wasn't a huge bowl, but it was a nice size little
It's funny you say that because we use it for my daughter, ice cream. We'll throw a little bit of ice cream in that thing.
It would
Perfect size.
Again, perfect size for making a little sundae.
Right. It's awesome.
They're great. It was a nice. It wasn't. I don't remember now, but I want to say the price was nominal. It wasn't anything too crazy.
I don't remember paying. Going what?
No, but I mean, for us, if we did 2 of them, it couldn't have been that expensive.
Yeah.
So but again, you don't have to complete the thing. So basically, if you really wanted to, and it depends on the cast member too, I think. But if you really wanted to, you can go and you purchase the map for the scavenger hunt and just get your prize right then too. just save yourself the trouble. Unlike us, whenever we went and there was a selection of 4 bowls, and by the time we got back to
one.
Yeah, they only had the 1 style left.
Yeah. We all got purple. Right?
We all got the purple. It is the purple Figment one. I am fine with that because it's Figment and he's awesome.
Yeah.
That's food and wine for you. So you'll be there right in the heart of it. Maybe you're gonna miss out on Hawaii. It says the 15th for Hawaii, but as we know in the past, sometimes they do open up early.
Oh, they're not getting there until the 15th, Hawaii?
It says Hawaii will not be opening till the 15th. It's the only one that I saw that actual notice on. But like I said, sometimes, I'm not going to say always, but sometimes they do open up before the date.
Yeah, because I'm going to be there on the 10th? That stinks. They better open 5 days early.
You never know with the magic of Disney. I'm not promising anything, but I'm just saying you never know.
Yeah.
And on that bombshell, anything else that do you wanted to bring up?
I don't know if you wanted to get into what was the one thing with the holiday weekend they had for 4th of July. They said that they had slower, not slower, but the wait times were short across the 4 theme parks. So I wonder with that, did it, because the holiday was on a Tuesday, do you think that might have played into anything? Or do you just think it was too hot, we're not going?
To be honest, it could have been kind of a combination of both. You know, it was a weird holiday time, and Tuesday. So a lot of people still had to work on Monday and have to go back to work on Wednesday. So I think that played into a part of it. I think how hot it's been definitely also played a part of it. I mean, Magic Kingdom was sold out in its reservations for that date, or were people just not going on attractions and walking around?
Yeah, it's strange.
Which seems strange.
Because it said only 4 attractions had wait lines in excess of 60 minutes.
Many of your bigger ones.
Yeah, many of the attraction wait times were less than 20, including the Smuggler's Run, which is crazy. 20 minutes to get on Smuggler's Run?
Right, new attraction, a fairly popular attraction.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre. I don't have an answer for that. Especially not being there myself, I don't have an answer, and I haven't seen anyone kind of say what their thought on that was.
Yeah, because like you said, if the place was sold out, then the people were there. So
the Magic Kingdom was sold out.
Magic Kingdom was sold out. Okay.
Yeah. Did say that the other parks were. So, or just, not a lot of people. Just to kind of put a fine point on it. As weird as this may seem, the summer is not peak time for Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Peak time for Walt Disney World is actually December. It's around the holiday season.
Yeah.
December and spring break. Those are really your peak busy times at Disney. It's like, as much as you think the summer it should be the popular and busy ones, it's actually not. Now, that being said, kind of nowadays, every day is a busy day at Walt Disney World. Just some are busier than others.
Right.
So, yeah, I have no.
Here's a couple. It's a two shockingly low wait times where the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Train at 5 minutes, Runaway Railway, which that's 5 minutes, really.
Another very brand new attraction, and an attraction that usually has a huge line, and it's again another fantastic attraction.
Mm-hmm. Even Rise of the Resistance was 20 minutes, which that's nuts because that it should be why, because they're saying that most wait times for these parks.
Well, that just tells you that a lot of people were not at the studios. Now, here's the other thing. Was a lot of people not at the studios because everyone was in the Magic Kingdom?
That could be. Yeah. Because they said they typically would see in excess of 3-hour rides on the popular attractions. They would see in excess of 3 hours. But I guess they didn't hit that. That's why they're saying, But I don't know. That's strange. We're not down there, so we can't tell what's going on. But, I don't think it's a sign of the times that people are, not going there. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think so. I think that's reading a lot more into it than needs to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I mean, part of the article said is like maybe, July might be the time to go, because you might have the slower times, but I wouldn't roll the dice on that.
Yeah, I'd have to check with someone that was down there that weekend, but he didn't go to any of the parks. Mm-hmm. He was just walking around, and from my understanding, it would seem busy. Yeah. But he would really just went to Disney Springs, and that could be busy. Anybody busy because anyone could go there. You don't need a ticket.
Now, can you imagine though, like 4th of July, Magic Kingdom sold out and the firework display, like how crowded that probably was around the castle for the fireworks?
Oh, you're miles deep. Yeah. And like I said, Disney World always puts on some of the best fireworks.
Yeah.
So I always love Disney's nighttime spectaculars, as they put them. Mm-hmm. I always think they do a spectacular job with them. Even the lesser ones are always enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. But I say bring back Harmonious. You still have the stuff there.
I guess I'm a Harmonious apologist. I saw it in person and I enjoyed it. I did not see Enchantment. You saw that one.
Yes.
But I think
that was the one in Magic Kingdom, right?
Yes, I think you even said Happily Ever After is better.
Yes. It was good, but it wasn't as good. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't sit there and go, I wasn't disappointed where I hated it. You know what I mean? It was still enjoyable, entertaining and stuff, but it wasn't as good as the previous one.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was the one. Unfortunately, I missed that one. I've seen every other castle show, and I missed that one. But
yeah,
nothing I can do about it now.
Yeah. And then I'll bring up one last thing, and then we'll call it a day. The Merida meet and greet is being replaced with an Encanto theme.
Yeah.
And I guess previously it was a Rapunzel and Flynn Rider from Tangled. I guess it was that, and then it became Brave,
Merida.
And now Encanto.
Yep. So it's just changing of the IP. So it's it's going with what's the current popular IP that we can work with there. So it's like, okay, we had Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. So we got Merida. So we'll do the Brave. So okay, we'll put that in there. And again, Brave came out quite some time ago.
Yeah, I think it was 2012 I saw in there that it's been that since then. So it's good.
Yeah,
run.
And the movie's older than that.
Yeah.
So it's now okay. Encanto's the hot popular thing. That's let's make it Encanto.
Mm-hmm.
So that's normal. Merida will still probably pop up in places and parades and whatnot. It's not like she's going away completely. We'll never not see Merida ever again.
Yeah, because they always have the princess parades and stuff like that out there, right? So she's got to be a part of that. So.
Oh yeah. No, Merida's still, a very strong, predominant female figure. They will still use her and stuff.
And to me, that I mean, I don't know how well it was received when it came out, but I love that one. So I think that might be one of the underrated movies that they've had in their library. But
Brave is, I think, a very well done, very different for its time Pixar, even for now, a different Pixar type of film.
Mm-hmm.
A Pixar film with nudity in it, believe it. Mm-hmm. But it's I like the story of Brave. It was supposed to be a little different from my understanding, because they had to switch directors and stuff partway through. But it is it's a very strong story. The female character, I really like her. She's not, it's got a good story, moral behind it, and story, and it's well done, and it gets kind of dark and scary at times too.
Yeah.
Mordor is a pretty scary adversary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it works. I get why they're doing it. You got to keep it fresh with the new stuff, and unfortunately, the older stuff has to rotate out.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you figure if the wait lines for Merida aren't that long anymore. So, okay, what does that tell you? It's time to switch it out.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's all I got, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yep.
And we'll be talking again soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you again to Dave for joining us this week as we talked about food and wine, or continue talking about food and wine. What are you looking forward to? What is a booth or food that you can't wait to try or wish you could try at Epcot's International Food and Wine Festival 2023? Join us on the socials. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all at WD MagicCast. YouTube as well. You can find us on there. Leave us a voice message on the Anchor app or anchor.fm website, or email us any questions or your voice message to email at WDMagicCast. All of these can be found on the website of WDMagicCast.com as well. I want to thank you for your time. I know how little time we all have these days, and the fact that you spend some of it with us truly means a lot to all of us here at WD MagicCast. Thank you so much. Please go to Apple Podcasts or Stitcher. Leave a rating or review on there. We have all 5 stars. Keep them coming. The more that we get, the more they'll promote our show. The bigger the family, the better. Walt believed in a big Disney family, and so do I. Don't forget to subscribe to the show while you're at it. This way you always know when new episodes are posted. While you're at it, consider becoming a premium subscriber. Truly help the show out. You can do this over at anchor.fm/WDMagicCast/support. You'll also help us by purchasing stuff at our merchandise shop, which I mentioned also at the beginning of the show. In Japan, broken objects are often repaired with gold. The flaw is seen as a unique piece of the object's history, which is why it adds to its beauty. Consider this the next time you feel broken. And I'd like to end the show with a quote from Walt Disney himself. Happiness is a state of mind. It's just according to the way you look at things. So I'm thinking happiness is contentment, but it doesn't mean you have to have wealth. All individuals are different, and in some of us just wouldn't be satisfied with just carrying out a routine job and being happy. Again, that's Walt Disney. Thank you again for listening, everyone, and I'll see you next time.